Good morning and welcome to Smart Men's Business. I'm Andrew Barija and I'm here with Masa Katsime as we're going to be driving your business all the way. How are you doing? It's quite a fresh morning and it's quite a very cool breeze out there in the world, but of course definitely that makes it a very fantastic day to kickstart off the day. Masi, good morning. How are you?
Yes, good morning Andrew. Good morning Uganda and East Africa and entire globe. We are happy to be here yet again. Today is Wednesday and of course the 26th of July 2023. Yes, of course we have to remind you of what the date is, because I know people definitely work from Monday, so they definitely don't know what's going on. But it's a daily Kickstarter Smart Men's Business, and the crew is here to give you the very best of entertainment, business, what you need to make sure we want to make sure that you understand the principles of business, the news, everything is right here on Smart Men's Business.
And definitely quite lots of conversations that are going to be coming up, and of course I would love to remind you that despite the fact of what is into the pipeline, it's all powered by Zabu. That is a platform from Altix which has made your trading experience much more easy and friendly. Yeah, now start tonight to hash is the USSD code which will enable you to be availed with a number of options while you will be in position, that is to buy government bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Uganda shillings. Now the markets are going to be opening at exactly 8:15 a.m. running all the way to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time. This is effective from Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends of the public holidays when those markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite the fact you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make yourself quite severe profits, something which I believe is very instrumental for your financial growth and development. And remember, on top of Start 292 hash, you have to register with your national identification number. That is to enable you to be in position to actually proceed efficiently. Now, Zabu simply says, my money, my future. And Altix East Africa tells you, do something new. Remember, it is the year 2023. Yes, so it's a Wednesday. Yes, right, 26th of July. And I know there are quite lots of aspects that are happening as we are going to take a look at the press later on. And I believe these are quite events that are very important when it comes to your positioning, most especially as a business person, as an entrepreneur. That is to make sure that you can actually efficiently execute that you ought to execute. Yeah, so now as we get straight into the morning call, last time we had a discussion in regards to expiration of the LC's terms, and there was some sorts of discussions regarding what are those events that are going to be affected as a result of that, right?
Yes, of course. Last week on I think on Thursday, this came into our ears that the term for LCs actually ended on 10th July. And of course, the Speaker of Parliament said she couldn't go ahead with suspended Parliament until this matter was settled. And of course, yesterday, the Minister for ICT, Chris Barimonsi, actually said that the cabinet actually resolved that they extend the LC's term for 6 months, just like the Minister for Local Government had said earlier, that they intend to actually extend their term, to extend and give them more time. The fact that the complaints came in talking about financial constraints, so definitely I think it may actually be longer than 6 months, because now if you see there is an issue of finance, definitely for Uganda there has to be a stretch. But according to Section 153 of the Local Government Act, gives the Minister of Local Government powers to draft regulations for implementation of the Act. Now, the Minister for Local Government has also powers to amend the schedules of the Act. That means she has the powers to decide on when this can go on, because he is aware of what is happening. So definitely, it's his responsibility at the end of the day. If he knows there are issues concerning finances, then he has to suggest on a way forward for this.
Absolutely.
Yes, so definitely that is what has been happening yesterday, as the Minister of ICT came and gave the resolution by the cabinet on a way forward for the LCs, because I believe we talked about this, the importance of these LCs, their role They carry out a lot of stamps, letters. So definitely, we still need them in service until a decision is made. When they're going to have elections, those that are going to be re-elected, those that are coming in fresh. So definitely, I think this is the rightful decision.
All right, very interesting. Now, just a brief in the report here that came out yesterday. Of course, Cabinet approved a proposal to extend the term, or that is of office of the local council 1 and 2 by 6 months. That is ahead. Now, their term of office expired on 10th July 2023, but the government said that they did not have the means, that is, to conduct the elections. Now, further into the reports, we see that the matter sparked public debate. That is on Thursday last week. The Attorney General told Parliament that the government would actually extend the term of office. Now, the proposed extension was challenged in Parliament. That is, with opposition politician accusing that is the government that is of sleeping on the job. That is the statement that they used. But addressing the press at the Uganda Media Center, that was yesterday, the Minister of ICT, Chris Beremos, said that the Cabinet on Monday resolved to extend, that is, the term of office, that is, by 180 days. He says that the proposal was tabled by the Attorney General as a result of that. Now, like Masi said about Section 157, the Local Government Act gives the Minister of Local Government, that is the Minister of Local Government, powers to draft, that is, regulations for the implementation of the Act. And the Minister of Local Government also has the powers to amend the schedules, that is, to the Act. Now, the amendments include that with prior approval, that is, of the Cabinet, the Minister can extend, renew, and reinstate or validate the term of office, that is, of the administrative unit councils, from 5 years for a further, that is, period not exceeding 180 days at a time. Quite a lengthy report in here, as of course we can see that when the tenure of the LCs expired earlier this month, the main concern, that is, among the members of the public, was the validity of the documents that were endorsed by the officials, of course, occupying these offices, and also the opposition, and specifically the leader of opposition in Parliament cautioned the documents endorsed by LC's post-terms expired, and maybe, of course, challenged, that is, before court. Imagine somebody comes to you and tells you, by the time we signed this,
we're out of service.
We're out of service, and all. So it's going to be, it can cause quite lots of, scandals out there. Now, Baramosi said that the extension shall work, that is, retrospectively to validate, that is, any actions taken during the time of expiry of the LC's terms.
That is the time between 10th and till yesterday?
Yeah. Until yesterday, actually. Now, we see that still that the LC 1 and 2 leaders were elected in 2018. That is across 10,595 parishes and 70,626 villages. Of course, making almost 17 years since the last elections were held. That is under the ruling National Resistance Army. That is the government which is ruling currently.
Well, I must say, I think because from a period of 10th till yesterday, there has been a lot that was needed by LCs. Talk of people who require national IDs, police statements, so you need all that, really. But I believe that will be cancelled. I think it will be considered as valid.
No, anyway, because of late people are sort of informed in some sort of a way. Probably, I believe every person has been held back. So it would be absurd for you to actually have taken an agreement in such a time, because you never know. You see, this other person can easily deny you and tell you, I don't know about what we signed. Even at the time we signed them, there was no valid, this signature was invalid at the time it signed this. So with the information that is really coming out of late, I believe people are really quite informed, and they can't, but anyway, I can't assume. We can't assume it all, but just something we believe that probably it could be the case.
Anyway,
People know what's happening.
Let's wait for the 6 months to elapse and we'll see how...
6 months, that's going to be when, Jan?
January next
January
year.
2024.
Yes, so definitely we hope that they will have had a little bit of finances to, facilitate these elections.
Yeah, by then...
it's easier. We're talking about by-elections for these members of parliament. It's quite costly. It's easier. Anyway, I think maybe just because these ones are LCs and they're, a bit below, maybe there's no need for... But you see,
that's the route.
But I believe
that's the route of government.
They are the people that reach out to us, the people. The
that
people,
is true.
Yes, so definitely... I mean, I feel like they're important, really. They're really important, really.
They are actually.
Yes.
They're very important. And you see, it's like how they say family, how you raise up a child. I mean, family has a responsibility when it comes to the character of a leader that you see. I mean, take a look at their family background, how are they raised. These leadership principles are obtained way down from the root. So a family makes it, it's quite very important that way. Well, that is it for our morning call, and now let's switch over and take a look at what's happening into the press. Well, I have the new vision with me here, and Masika Tume is going to be taking us through. That is the Daily Monitor. And of course, when I look here, I can see President Museveni on trade mission to Serbia, Russia. And cabinet extends Elsie's term in office. Of course, that's what we've looked into for the morning call. And then a directive to improve accountability. Of course, finance orders districts on local revenue. So you'll be finding out further aspects of that matter. And of course, the Pope welcomes Nabanja, that is to the Vatican. Yes, so you'll find out there is an image here of the Prime Minister having arrived in Vatican. And of course, General Salim Salehi had distanced himself from Chiriandongo evictions. That is on the page 33 here. You'll find out further of the details of that as you, of course, get to prepare yourself to check it out.
Well, looking at the Daily Monitor, of course, some of the there's some news that are shared, the trending, and of course, government to extend Elsie's time in office for 6 months, and of course, Prime Minister Nabanja meets Pope Francis. Right, she's the picture right here. Shows how happy she is getting a blessing from the Pope. Very much excited. And of course, on a sad note, hospital probed over claims rat ate corpse. Yeah,
something which actually happened. I mean, I saw the lady of that was responsible for that corpse. She was saying in an interview,
it's quite
saying,
upset.
that, I mean, she goes to check the child, and when she goes to find out, oh my goodness, the child's head, like towards the head, it's big, it's some huge, some sort of, like how you've been operated, and, that space, and the doctors are telling this person that, it's the rat that actually beat up your child. I mean, things weren't making sense for the parent as a result of that.
So the child was dead?
And the child was dead. Of course, the parent was going to pick the corpse.
I thought they put them in the mortuary. I don't know.
Yeah. Of course, you pick them. You come with your coffin, they put your corpse.
Wow.
Because they can't give you the corpse just plain as it is. I mean, you have to come with a coffin.
For rats, they sense where the good meat is, so definitely, they usually, but I believe there are coolers in the mortuary, right?
Cooler. I've not been there before.
Anyway, I'm seeing here the lizard, and it says, funny thing here, the stamp must cost an arm and leg. That is in terms of the extension of the LC's term for 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, of course, and in other news, IGG starts probe in the UETCL over expenditure. And of course, Makere promotes over 150 lectures. For those that are among the 150, I must say they must be excited about the promotion. That means more money. The higher you go, the more money
more money
you get. So
absolutely. Now there is something here I can see as Pope wants anti-gay law reviewed. Well, Pope Francis has met Uganda's Prime Minister Robert Arabaje and the Vatican asked that is the government to review the anti-homosexuality law. But anyway, this issue here is in regards to the death sentence. So the Pope said that they support the anti-homosexuality law that was passed in Uganda, but asked the government to review the clause that is on the death sentence. Okay.
Anyway, I must say maybe death was...
Was it true?
Death, I don't know if
death
is overrated. You would say death is too much.
But being gay is more like you've committed murder itself. That's in my opinion anyway.
What about these kids that are done on operations at the younger age, when they are born like this and the parent decides, oh, I think I wanted a boy, can we transition?
Transgender, that's not good.
That is not good. I just imagine now,
evil.
Imagine a kid getting to know they were born a girl and now they're male. You know, there is something you deny them.
But of course, despite that, I mean, you can't change the genes, you know. You can change the physical part. So the genes in you are of a man. So despite the fact that they change your parts, you know, that make you feel be that gender, there is that character in you that you could be a lady, but you're behaving like a man. But everything on your body shows that you're actually a lady, but you're behaving like a man, you know, somehow. That is something that they can't really deal with. That is editing DNA.
And of course, IGG up with the UETCL of a probe. IGG opens probe into 1 billion shilling UETCL staff recruitment deal. Now, the Inspector of General of Government has launched investigations to ascertain the circumstances under which the Uganda Electricity Transmission Limited injected more than 1 billion to hire 37 new staff.
Injecting 37 billion, 1 billion to recruit 37
yes,
staff.
37
so there
staff.
is recruitment costs.
Yes, recruitment expenditure. Then they must be costly. The staff must be that costly to have that one.
But is that really true?
I do not know.
Is that correct?
That is why I think she's taking initiative to know that 37, how much are they earning, the contract? 1 billion, only on 37. 1 billion, actually, do you know 1 billion can feed a huge number of people?
Yeah, it can do even something to... Okay, it's not a lot of money. When it comes to community matters, it may not be really that much, but it can do something.
Yes, and of course, MPs question microfinance officials over 10 billion loans. Now, the administrators of the Microfinance Support Center yesterday faced a tough time explaining circumstances under which they dished out loans amounting to 10.6 billion without following the stipulated procedures. The money. Wow. People are squeezing people lately. They're squeezing people over money.
Absolutely.
We passed on our budget, so people want to know. We are seeing people, loans, money, billions. Who is getting this money? And you'll find out some individuals, ghost individuals, I must say. Some individuals.
Maybe they're real individuals.
You know, when I was young, actually, I had someone, a neighbor, who used to later sign over papers. You know, you write your name and sign. So I was like, he used to do it for over, like, you know, those times when they're requiring you to do a report, then you have to forge out signatures. So now I'm getting to understand the reason behind it. Because why?
How old were you by then?
I think I was like in primary 7, because I knew how to sign.
You knew how to sign that?
I had a signature.
So I had a signature constant?
I don't think it's constant. I don't think it's constant. So I must say, that is the trick they use. So they give you your money, little. Then you sign against it.
So they could give you money to sign?
Yes. Just, you know, little money then. It was just little money.
Accountability. The person was accounting for some funds, right?
Yes.
Okay, and was expecting more money.
Yes.
Okay, now here I see something to do with African common markets. It's a matter of rural survival. That is, says President Museveni. All right, now we're done with the press. And now the images that we are taking a look at there are coming in from Clock Tower. Of course, observing the traffic atmosphere as we can get to see it that way. Yeah, it's quite a little bit, it's a mild condition, I'll say. It's not, but of course, it's still congested either way, despite the fact. Now, these are vehicles that are coming in from Entebbe Road. Some are coming in from Kabalagala, Kansanga, Gaba Road, in a way, heading towards town. And some are also coming in from Entebbe Road, areas along there, Kajansi, and so many. Namasuba, so many of those areas that are in there. So you can really see how, so there is some sort of a competition for the space in there. But the advantage there, it's divided into 2 lanes. There is one that is bringing vehicles from Entebbe Road, and there is a lane that is bringing the vehicles that is from Gaba Road. So the only issue is that there is that junction somewhere there where they have to somehow meet. So that's why the absolute congestion is really being experienced. But I think the situation is a little in control by the traffic officers to make sure that there is efficiency, because we know that this is one of the areas that is known for actually having quite lots of people, pedestrians, and majority of them coming in from those areas that are and they're heading towards city center. So that really can give you a picture of what really it is like there. So if you're coming in from those areas and you're coming to town, well, you might find a few slight difficulties. Of course, not really as much, because lately there is not really that much congestion when you move out there into the cities as compared to, because congestion is maximum the first month when the children have actually reported back to school. It's when we experience the massive congestion. Now, of course, switching our eyes to Gaba Road, you can see the routes of vehicles coming in from Gaba Road. It seems to be a little empty. And the traffic officer in there, I don't know whether he's really actively involved in controlling these vehicles or he's just having a conversation. I can see, is that a military policeman? It seems like he's putting on a red cape. Probably could be.
Yes,
or an army guy.
Yes.
Yeah, so having a conversation.
With
he doesn't seem to be like he's in control.
Yeah, I think maybe he's aware of the situation. It's not that crowded, so definitely he can converse with someone, and in case there is something that has come up, he'll shift his eyes.
Yeah, I think that also explains why the vehicles are moving smoothly, because where officers are.
And you can see it's a busy school-going students going to school.
You have to be at school by 8.
Yes, by 8
a.m.
I believe, I think I wouldn't handle day school.
Day school.
Day school, really, if it was like in the city center or something.
But some of us got a chance that we had coasters that used to pick us. The trains just started a day.
Yes.
Yeah, so it wasn't hard. It would be manageable.
It wasn't hard. Yeah, and maybe if the distance is just a few meters, not that far, but you see crossing the road and all that, I feel like, wow, it's, I don't know, just in case, but if something happens. I was getting to work, and there was a bunch of children that were almost knocked down by, it was until a lady stopped them and like, no, and she held their hands and they crossed.
They crossed the road.
So just imagine we are in an area where there are people are minding their business. Something could happen.
Okay, that is absolutely very true. Well, quite a huge number of vehicles coming in from Entebbe Road, and they normally branch off to Safi Tax Park around there, that route. And there are also taxis that be heading into that tax park. So you can see sometimes Entebbe Road can be also tricky in some other ways in the morning hours, as we can see. I think it's starting to get congested, really, but let's hope that the situation will be really put under control. But I know this place for having quite lots of people. I don't know where they even come from, because some of these Not that there are residential areas nearby. I don't know whether people walk very long distances from. Probably they walk from Kansanga, some walk from Shivuli.
People walk,
And
people definitely walk.
it's-
Morning hours are for people who walk.
Quite
Because some are trying to beat up with, affordability of transport.
affordability.
So they prefer walking,
Yeah, and actually COVID
which is
told
good
people
for
to walk.
health. Walking is really good
Yeah,
for health.
but COVID taught us how to walk.
Yes. Oh, people walked distances, really.
Yeah. So people are used.
Yeah.
So even if now today you walk up and you increase the prices, people will be like, okay, we shall walk. Because they still do walk anyway. So it's not a new thing. So for the people in the transport industry, they should know that. Well, that is it for our traffic updates this morning. It's 27 minutes past 7. And that is the situation like there at the clock tower. But of course, now let's get into the break. And when we return, we shall be taking a look at what's happening on the East African community and the international scene. Stick around.